What is up, Ravens flock? Huge shout out for your support for the 410 Sports Talk. James and Glenn are the best in the business. They're killing it right now. They love talking Raven talk. Make sure you go subscribe to their channel. Let's go Ravens. Big trust.
Welcome in everyone to another episode of 410 Sports Talk. I'm Glenn Martin here with my coach James Haskell. And this episode we're going to discuss another free agent who may or may not be joining the Baltimore Ravens. And it's quite an exciting name, and we are going to discuss that. But before we do, hit the subscribe button, click the notification bell, and we will keep you up to date on all your Ravens news and rumors. But Jimbo, who is being rumored to possibly join the flock?
Yeah, one Tyrann Mathieu has been linked up with the Baltimore Ravens for a while now, honestly. So just to give you guys some history, if you don't know, a lot of you probably do know. But if I'm not mistaken, the Ravens and him were in discussions when we ended up signing Earl Thomas to that massive deal. He ends up going to Kansas City. And in fact, they kind of traded places because Earl was going to take a 1-year deal from KC. And then Eric called out of nowhere with the Brinks truck and basically burned that money. Because I mean, he could have.
Well, he did have one Pro Bowl year with us.
Sure. I mean, when you carry the name Earl Thomas, you get in the Pro Bowl, right?
That's true. That's true.
You know, Eric could have literally just wiped his behind with that money, and it would have.
Well, certainly over the last couple of years, yeah.
Yeah, done us about the same. Point being, it's been a couple years in the making with one Tyrann Mathieu. And the Ravens community, Ravens flock has wanted this for a long time.
Shout out.
Yeah, they're
coming strong at Tyrann on his social media.
Yeah,
strong.
Relentless. And I'm pretty sure that's a bumper sticker here, isn't it? There's a relentless.
Yes, it is. And Tyrann ain't mad about it.
No, he's not. He's not.
He said, you guys are relentless, and I am not mad one bit. So definitely some tweets, some cryptic tweets, and it's clear that there's interest, at least from Tyrann's side and the fan base on this side, to make this deal happen. Now, he's 29 years old, but he will be 30 by the time the season starts.
So we're here talking about another 30-year-old free agent.
Another 30-year-old free agent, which honestly, is that not kind of the status quo when it comes to the Ravens?
I shouldn't knock on 30. Dude, people in their 30s can also hit their athletic peak.
I was going to say, how many miles did you run this morning, Jimbo?
15, baby!
That's right. And you are on the wrong side of 30 also. So
you're right.
So and I bet you would say now you're probably in better shape than
from 23 on.
So there you go. So it's certainly not the end of your athletic ability when you hit 30. But the one thing I will say is that the guy is really, I mean, you talk about a guy who doesn't miss games. He played in all 16 in 2017, all 16 in 2018, all 16 in 2019, missed one game in 2020, which I believe was COVID. And then he played in every single game last year. So in 5 years, he missed one game.
I'm glad you bring that up because I've mistakenly in the past, pegged him as an injury-prone type guy because the injury issues he had early on in his career in Arizona. However, you're right. He's been a model of consistency and availability. So, it's another knock or another nod to him and his value as a player. But, Glenn, I want to talk about this. Spotrac, of course, has his market value yearly at 14.8. They're projecting a 3-year deal at $44 million.
Yeah.
$14.8 million a year, Glenn.
Insane.
I mean,
it's insane. That's scary to hear. It's jarring, especially when the projected cap space right now for the Ravens is $8 million. The math just simply doesn't add up. Now, Jimbo, the question is, right now, there's a massive hole at safety. Deshaun Elliott is no longer under contract. So he is a free agent. So right now it's just Chuck Clark. And then next to him is a bunch of young guys who right now have yet to prove themselves. And we all realize that this is a huge year for the Ravens, right? This is the last year before a projected monster contract for Lamar Jackson that will certainly limit their already tight cap number even more. So this is really the final year that they can be extremely aggressive. So the one thing that they're missing on the back end of that defense from the safety spot is playmaking, right? I mean, we like Chuck Clark for who he is and what he does, but outside of that one game where he had 2 picks, the guy is certainly not known for his playmaking ability. Well, Tyrann Mathieu is the exact opposite. He's had an interception at least one in every year of his career, and he's had as high as 6 just 2 years ago, where he was named, to the Pro Bowl, and I believe he was an All-Pro that year. So, yeah, first team All-Pro just 2 years ago in 2020. So the guy, there's no doubt he's a playmaker, right?
Yep.
He can make plays, but also the guy is a tackling machine. I mean, he had 76 total tackles last year. He can really affect the game in the deep zone as well as up and around the line of scrimmage, showing off those instincts that he's really been demonstrating since his days at LSU. So the guy is no doubt a playmaker, but Jimmy, is that enough to make you want to put that type of investment into a secondary you're already paying crazy money to?
That's the thing, Glenn. Like, I feel like it's you're filling folks up with false hope here. The statistics and I get it. I don't even want to hear it. Because I get so, I just want to get so excited, right? I feel like so this happened today. My dog is a smart dog. I was using some peanut butter and he noticed, usually when the peanut butter jar is at the end, I give it to him so he can just, lick the rest of the peanut butter out of it, right? So he comes up close by, he notices that it's empty. And, he customarily I would have given it to him. I didn't feel like doing it this time. I threw it in the trash, right?
Hold on, you didn't feel like it?
Yeah, well, because
he was like handing the dog the peanut butter? Or is there something else involved in this?
No. He was just about to eat and go outside, and so it was just bad timing, right?
Okay,
so I was just
all right. Poor
I was like, Coda, you can't, because he'll make out with that thing for 2 hours. You know what I mean? It's just bad. So I'm like, all right, I can't do this right now, Coda. You need to go outside. Eyes closed and everything, dude. It's ridiculous.
He doesn't have his eyes open like the teenagers at the mall?
No. He's an expert. But I'm saying this is a really long-winded way to say that his expectations were demolished today. Yes. I felt terrible for him, and I feel like that's what when you tell all those things to me, I start to salivate, much like my dog when he sees the peanut butter. And I think, man, Tyrann Mathieu is going to be a perfect fit. Him and Chuck Clark can go.
They would complement each other really
well. Right,
well.
just lay the wood on people, play in the box, do all these things. You can call me the Grinch of free agency. That's fine. But the Ravens aren't signing Tyrann Mathieu. I know. I've got to change my tune, but I just can't get up for this one. I want to, but $14.8 million is not happening. And you know what? Eric DeCosta is going to look at you. Shout out to my grandma who's from Maine. Always just call me Diggy. He's going to say, Glenn, Diggy, look, we got Brandon Stevens, number 21. Had a decent season. He's looking like he's got a lot of upside. He's shown ball skills in college. We're going to roll with him. And that's how he's going to check the box. I think that's what it's going to be.
Yeah, and it's hard to argue with that when you consider the holes at pass rush and an offensive line and the limited cap space, and you have to make the choice of what impacts the team more. And then you also look and say, man, we already are paying Marlon how much? We're paying Marcus Peters how much?
Right.
And you're playing Chuck how much? And now you want to add another big expensive player to that same secondary when that's already our most expensive overall position. I think that you'll end up being correct on this one. And look, I like Brandon Stevens.
I'm usually correct, so just kind of how it goes.
Let me ask. Let's get your wife on the horn, and we'll ask her.
Much different story then.
That's
true.
Right.
She'd say I'm full a lot of what I pick up from my dog every day.
Let's ask Coda if you're always right, because I think he's still a little bitter about that going in the trash.
He's so pure-hearted. He's just forgiven me already.
Oh, isn't that sweet? Yes, he's an angel. But I do like what I saw from Brandon Stevens. I think that he showed a ton of growth. And honestly, even from day one, I was shocked at the level of play he was bringing, considering how new he is to the position. So I am excited to see it. But, man, there's no doubt a guy like Tyrann Mathieu that has really – you talk about a guy who has unteachable and uncoachable instincts. I don't know –
always finds a way around the football.
Yeah, he was one of, if not the funnest player I've ever seen defensively in college.
Mhm.
So incredible. Like, you couldn't take your eyes off him. You didn't know where he was.
Ed Reed like that way, right?
100%. I mean, the fact that the way he can impact the game in every way, like Troy Polamalu as well, very, very similar to him as well, as far as
Mhm.
he's got 10 sacks in his career. He's got 26 interceptions. He's got 3 touchdowns. He's got 4 forced fumbles. He can do so many different things, and it's stuff you can't teach, the instincts. So I would be thrilled to have him, but ultimately I think that they're going to go a different direction and use their money elsewhere. But let us know what you guys think. I mean, are we being, is Jimmy being a little too pessimistic? Do you think that there's a real shot that they could make the numbers work and Tyrann could, put the purple and black on and help us win a title here in Baltimore? Or do you think, what? We like what we got in Brandon
Mhm.
Stevens, and we want to see the Ravens' remaining cap space spent maybe towards pass rush or building that fortified wall in front of our franchise, Lamar Jackson. Let us know what you think in the comments below, and we will talk soon.